One of the things I put in as a cardinal principle in my life is to always experience and extend the measure of goodwill, and believe that the other individual has the best interest at heart. And so it's a good pedestal to highlight the fact that the reason they are not doing it is because they don't know. And the only subject matter expert I have is the Word of God. It says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." Ignorance is a big disease that everybody has. I am ignorant in certain aspects. You are ignorant in certain. In some areas, I'll be a subject matter expert. So what do? When I don't know, I ask. But many people feel in our climate that asking questions makes you or demeans you. It's just foolishness. So I need to just ask, what do I need to do? And in doing this is not far-fetched. I know most of the guys in the NFF administration. We've been together for donkey years, almost 2 decades. I mean, Amaju is a personal friend. We've served on the board on local organizing committees together, different regards. So it's not... Now, if he reaches out to say, how do I do this? How did you guys do that? How can we sit down? I mean, there's Langpe Omoyole. I can talk about brand managers.
Great guy.
We've done these things before. Now, I'm not soliciting for a job. I don't need one. But I'm just letting you know that if you don't know, you can call certain people to say, guys, how do we put this together? That's why you have a board. A board is supposed to be a conglomeration of idea points. People that have ideation that come to
For the person just joining us, what will that kind of team do? Tell the people. You say they will produce a document
they will have a strategic,
put a value on the brand called Super Eagles.
There will be a value, and the value comes as a result of the strategic intent. The strategic intent.
What will that kind of document entail? What will you have in?
It will be in the master plan of the NFF concerning football. So there must be a football plan. And the football plan has the totality of it. The landing pad is the Super Eagles, which is the ultimate brand. Every other one under is a subset of the main brand. You want to see that your developmental part and the main part, so I'm talking under 17, those are not brands. Those are just flavors that are building the brand.
You are going to another area.
Larry, you can it up. No, but they are flavors, but they are not. You see, there's form and substance. Anytime we speak.
So when we talk about, somebody just said, what is FF? FF means Football Federation.
Football Federation.
So for that person who asked that question.
Football Federation. Now,
so you are saying we only have one brand.
This is Super Eagles.
And all others are...
They are flavors.
Variants.
They are variants of
the flavor.
Yes.
Of the brand.
They are. Now, under 17 and...
Can you explain that to somebody who...
Okay, let me go home and come with it. At every point in time, as a child, then you grow. Let me give you... A child grows and you have a boy. Then he becomes a lad and becomes a man. Now, at the time you're a child, you are fed with milk. And as you move through, you're given some form of solid as a boy. Now, when you go in there as a youth or a teen, it's boy, teen, there are different things. That's your body formation changes. So what you need is different. Now, if you take that into the character of being a man, that process of becoming a man, then you begin to have strong meat. Now, the build-up, you need meat, you need milk, you need a form of meat. You can't say that is food. It's a process of building you to ultimately have strong meat. And that's what we expect, that the maturity, the character, everything that a man stands and says, I'm playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, you shouldn't find some things wanting, because those are boyish, childish things that have been dealt with. And all of that must come as a result of a personality and say, who do we need to be in a national team? What type of coach do we need? Now, beyond Ghana Raw now, we should start thinking, 5 years with this man, who next? If this man has done 5 years, what next? What is the character of the Eagles we want to be? The World Cup of 2027, what should it be about? How many of these players will still be there? Maybe we need 1 or 2. Now is the time to plan. Because 2023, this team going, great team, I think they will come better off in 2023.
All right, at this point in time, I must let you know, if you're out there, no matter the corner of the globe that you are listening to us, you can call in and you can ask a question via our social media platforms on Twitter at Brila FM 889, on Facebook, Sports Radio Brila FM, and you can also dial 0700 00000889. Phone lines are lighting up already. Hits are coming in on the Facebook fan page. Abdul Hakim Olatuju Sulaiman says, I love this borrowed course as we are used to calling out to school days. Thank you so much, Brilla. Thank you, Big Larry. And today's lecturer, yes, ID Enang, forward ever, backward never. Phone lines are buzzing. Before I take a couple of calls, a quick one. This question came in on another platform, and it's talking about a brand. Is it possible for a brand to be impossible to promote, to be a lost cause? Do brands ever come to that level?
Yeah, I mean, there's something you call, just like a human being. You see, whenever you think about a brand, think about a person. You know, every brand has a time when it to play to. And what you need to do, that's when marketers or brand managers talk about relaunch, restage, recalibrate, re-something, Sha. You re-something. And the essence of it, if you look at the bell, you have a bell curve. You see the curve goes that way. Okay? If you're a student of economics, you remember diminishing marginal returns. Yes. So it goes up, and then it plateaus, and it begins to decline. At the point it starts declining, you must have indices that tell you that it's about to decline. So your brand equity indices will tell you you're no longer what you were thought that you used to be. And whether you're aging, whether you're not connecting with the younger audience, at that point you need to relaunch. So you then take it and then it goes up again. And it's a principle of the S's. So if you look at a proper brand management system, it must be a story of the S's. Look at the letter S. It goes like that, and it goes again. And then when it's about to plateau again, you have to do something. And there are strategic interventions that you don't just wake up to make it happen. You make it happen by thinking.
Now let me take it to you. You say you are a supporter of the Super Eagles.
Big time.
So, supporter, what have you done for the Super Eagles?
What would you be willing to do?
What will you be doing?
Okay.
Where's the jersey? I thought as supporter of Super Eagles, you would come in with your clubs.
No,
wait, where you buy?
No, wait, Larry.
Supporter of Super Eagles. Let me start.
As a little boy living in Sulu.
Supporter of Super Eagles, what should you be doing for the team?
Now?
I've been letting the team go.
No, I want to tell you, you asked me as a supporter. I want to tell you the history of my support.
Okay.
It didn't start today. To encourage any little boy out there. We used to stay in Samshonibare, and I used to go watch the Green Eagles. And in those days, by 8 a.m., we're outside National Stadium. And before a match is played at 4, we go to carry and off. We did stadium for 8 hours. At that time, I couldn't buy any memorabilia, but I believed in the Eagles. I was always an Eagle.
For level, never reaches time.
No, I never even reached any level. You don't
want to talk.
By the time I grew up, and I had the privilege, I was privileged to embark on my sports journey and blah, blah, blah. But talking really about Super Eagles, the day I joined Coca-Cola, one of the things I did as brand manager Coke in 98 was to rechristen the FA Cup that had gone. It was called Challenge Cup. You know, it dropped for about 2-3 years. And I worked with my colleagues and TQA, and we rechristened the FA Cup. After that, and I can tell you, activating and supporting the Eagles all the way. So, a personal relationship I developed with the likes of Olise, with the likes of Kanwankwo, it's because as an involvement as a brand manager, I was always with these guys. And I tell you, I've been at every World Cup since 98, with or without the Eagles. And with the Eagles, I always sit, you know, apart from this last group, I was at every qualifier played in Calabar. With every single qualifier. I say that with every sense of humility. So, I follow them and I meet some of their matches outside. I just fly to go watch the Eagles and I come back. I have my jersey. Now I'm coming to the jersey.
This new jersey?
I don't. That's why I said. Why? I'm not going to ask Amaju. He can't go London, go lunch. And that was the height of insensitivity by the NFL.
Are you saying that was wrong?
Very wrong.
But we're talking about a global brand having the jersey.
No. Forget it. No. Why didn't England come to lunch here? Why didn't they come here? Why didn't Switzerland come to Nigeria? Let's face it, let's call a spade and not an agricultural instrument. If you believe that the funds are the bedrock, politicians today tell you they have electoral value. They don't have electoral value. We confer the value on them and the people. They don't have any value. And by reason, what gives a brand like the national team value As a fans, you need to. There is no way in heaven's creation Nike should have taken that thing to London if our guys did not accept it. What nonsense. I'm sorry to use the word, but it's very annoying. Because I saw them, what are they doing? Should bring it here. You know, there's nothing as strong as putting it center stage, air-conditioned, just put a transparent pitch, National Stadium, let Nigerians come and watch how they're going to unveil the new jersey. Trust me, Larry, you will raise the emotional connect within Africans. Starting from Nigeria, will be so great that Eagles are going somewhere. Even it's a motivation for the boys that the country believes in them. You carry it to one small room, put a small parchment. Listen, I'm a brand manager. This your studio go be past the place we don't use. I wasn't there, but I can see it from the pictures. What nonsense. I mean, when you finish from there, you then sell. So Nike then can sell. You don't give room, and then you open marketers. We are talking about an opportunity to open the economy. Mikey says we need, just like FIFA. I know all of this because I've had the privilege, and God gave me that privilege. FIFA will give you, these are appointed agents. Nike would have appointed agents who can sew the jerseys that are Nigerians. So we shouldn't be looking for the jerseys now. There are young factories. There are factories that can do it. They bring in the yarn. The government gives them concession because it's a World Cup year.
You know, Nigeria is a very complex country.
It is not complex. We make it complex because, number one, we don't even state what should be. When you don't state it, it becomes anybody's playing ground.
So we've signed a contract. It's running. And Nike is dictating. Can we now go to them and say, sorry, we want jerseys in Nigeria? No. How can this problem be solved?
The way it can be solved,
yes.
If they are listening now, what they can do, Nike can sit back and say, we are appointing five agents. And these agents will have the wherewithal to produce the jerseys. And the jerseys will come. People produce it and then they sell. They then tell you...
Same Nike quality that will sell for about 25,000, 30,000?
No. You see, quality is relative. And you must understand that when you want to have the yard, and you need to give that yardstick. I can tell you from a manufacturing standpoint, whatever you want to manufacture, there's always a range. They tell you between 0 to 2. Anything beyond this range is not quality. So the yarn, the fabric, has to be this spec between 0 to 2. Because you must remember that Nigerians eat. We consume everything, including the skin of the sheep. So where do you get cloth from? So we know that we have our own defects. They're going to import some and we might have some locally. But put the standards. Give it to these organizations, then QC, quality control. Quality control it, then have distribution points. Then you and I can walk into a store. All the stores should be activated, and that's where the sponsors, supposed sponsors or brands, should know. Now, you could walk into a store and buy a Super Eagles jersey, and we should be donning it and coming to work. On Friday, the government says, it could be state, could be local, could be federal. For the next whatever Fridays, there's a Super Eagles Friday. Let me tell you what happened in Korea. Korea was the first appearance in the World Cup in 2002. I was there myself. On Fridays, the whole seal was in red. And the day Korea was playing, that before we even got to the pitch, everywhere was red. Where did they get to? The power of the fans, the power of the nation, the power of the people will motivate the boys that they will get on that pitch, like Keshi will always tell you, we'll go there today. We should be thankful to Brilla for bringing this opportunity for us to know what is and what isn't. And from there, if any other person is listening, they can say, how do we take it from there? It's a platform. So I don't want to get, sometimes you don't get into the trenches. What you do is stay above those things, and that's one of the things as Nigerians we don't do. We get emotional and stay in the trenches. I'm over above the trenches. I'm not here to run anybody down. I'm just here to stay what it is and how it should be. The rest is left for anybody. I must tell you one final thing. It's easy to criticize.
Tough when you get there.
When you get there. Amaju and his team will have their own challenges. But one of the things they have to do as leaders, find a way to get out of it.
To consult.
And ideas command resources.
Yes, also consult. Yes.
All right. It's still Sports Radio, 88.9 Brilla FM. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
How you doing, bro?
Good.
All right, what's your name?
Good morning.
Kochi.
And this one
Enang.
What?
Expert. Brand expert.
Morning, Kochi.
Brand architect.
All right.
I want to thank you for all the time that you have all the my friend is that
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Hello?
Your question is?
Yes. I said, it's not as if the officials in NFS told me about what is brand. This might be brand and things there. But let's try to say it too. Because of their own selfishness of what they want to do, they will not do what is right.
Is that a question?
I'm talking about the government that has this situation.
Okay.
Let's look at building rather than criticizing.
Yes, indeed.
How do we solve this problem?
So.
There are a lot of questions coming on this platform, and this one reads, branding or functionality, which should come first?
Well, you're ignorant about two things. Number one, branding is just a label. Functionality is the first stage in the process of branding. There's a physical benefit and there's emotional, and that drives equity. So you use toothpaste because of its functionality. When you continuously use the toothpaste, it becomes a part of you, and you don't try another until it disappoints you. That's what it is.
Yes, there are a lot of questions here.
Femi has just taken note.
Femi has taken. Someone is asking, do visuals play a part in branding?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is sight, the five senses. What you see, connects to part of what you have. There's the emotional part of the brain called the amygdala, and there's the thinking part of the brain in the frontal lobes. So when you see it, it sends messages straight, and that's why you respond. That's why you're an impulsive buyer. Some people say I'm impulsive because when that image hits you, it just makes you take that decision. But sometimes after you finish buying the thing, you get to and say, but I have this color. That's when you're thinking the frontal lobes have come activated. So yes, it is. It does have all of that. The totality of it is what makes the brand.
No, there's a question here on the Facebook fan page. Godwin Nathaniel, the playmaker, says, good morning. In respect to the Super Eagles jersey launch in London, which the guest faulted, Idoreyen and faulted, I'm tempted to ask, who calls the shots of such events and other related activities between sponsors and the football federations? Nike paid billions of naira to be our kit manufacturers. Do we tell them what to do?
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm not privy to the contract signed by the NFF and Nike. But if I sit here as a former, I had the privilege of signing contracts and I know what football contracts would be. Ideally, yes, Nike would have said what should happen. They will put in there to say we are going to do X, Y, Z. But I don't think location is ever put into a contract because nobody knows what will happen. What then happens is a collaboration between the local party, meaning the NFF, and also the sponsor. And they need to then agree. So if the NFF see the brand or the fans as the ones that give value to the Eagles, where else would you want to take such a launch that will even help Nike as a brand? Two things I suspect. That thing was done in a hurry to meet certain deadlines, or the guys were only looking at the commercial value, forgetting that the fabric of that value comes from
emotional attachment.
That's it. It's a bit disappointing today when you now look at, for the first time, Nigeria qualified ahead. It wasn't mathematical, it wasn't cracking our brains, and then you sit back and nothing has been done to activate it. The World Cup is a few months away. Then something is wrong.
No, we're playing friendlies. We have some lined up.
Let me tell you something. That's why
that's not what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about a deliberate strategy. A deliberate strategy where you say, a game like football, you're going to look at the fans. There are two kinds of fans. There's a fan at home and there's a fan in the stadium. So in order to be able to bring that whole energy together, you need to activate. So what does activation mean? For the guy going to the stadium, he needs to have an experience. So that's why if you
Yeah, but how do you get an experience when the people are not here? You are not seeing them.
No,
they are not playing before you.
They don't need to play before you.
Even the jersey launch was not done here.
No, you can go to the camp, and that's where it takes, number one, it can take either the NFF or the so-called sponsors. I don't know who they are. Because if they are sponsors, they shouldn't be throwing money, they should be activating for you and I to see. That's when the five senses come to play. So give me an example. You know all the players, your star players. They should have seasoned men, women that are capturing moments with the Eagles. For example, so I call moments with, you have Alex Iwobi here, you have
Moses.
Sorry?
Victor Moses.
Yeah, Victor Moses and the rest. All the major star players. And imagine every week, you just have something, some diary. You have the first diary. How many players are there? They're going to be 22. So every week there's a diary on someone. That's an activation. What? You activate my sight, you activate the sound, and you activate the person. That is just where they are. That's part of the build-up. You now get to the point where you want to play these matches. Now, when you bring it into Nigeria, it becomes your home. Now, you need to activate it for the fan who is sitting at home that wants to watch television. And at the stadium, wherever you play, everyone coming there will have a sense that this is the Super Eagles. It is only when you have a brand that you activate it and you invest in it. Right now, you can call the Super Eagles a brand, but we are not investing and we are not milking that brand. And that's why it's not an asset. It is an asset, but we don't know it's an asset. And it's a failure on the part of the sponsors, or the failure on part of companies or brands, and failure on part of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yeah, my big worry is the fact that we don't even find things concerning the team to buy anywhere.
Memorabilia. I mean, Larry, that's part of what I'm saying. When you activate, you see, that's part of the sense of touch. If I have a jersey, I'll probably wear the jersey. That, for me, whenever I wear it, wherever I go, it shows that I'm a symbol and an emblem. I'm carrying with me the green, white, green. Let me tell you what happened to me in Japan. It was Japan-Korea, right? 2002. I went to the stadium to watch France-Senegal, the opening match, but I was wearing a Super Eagles jersey. And I was in Korea. When everybody saw me, Eagles played in Japan. But I was here with the first match, Senegal and France. They won that match 1-0. Do you know that we got early to the stadium, you know, the way it's always with the World Cup. They activated everything. When you get into the main turnstile, I had to come out. We went into a pub to watch the Nigeria-Argentina match. That was an unfortunate match that day. You know, I don't want to go there. It's always happened to me in the last 3 World Cups. I always go. So this time I'm not going. I want to sit down and watch. But everybody saw me wearing the Eagles jersey in a foreign location. When I mean foreign, Korea wasn't their base, it was Japan. They could recognize it. They knew I was a Nigerian fan. And you know what? It's a magnet. It's like having tribes. So when you wear or hold the memorabilia of the Super Eagles of Nigeria and using the colors of Nigeria, it will attract people. And people will say, wow, Nigeria.
So why are they not doing this?
They don't know.
No, I don't want to.
I'm telling you,
no.
See, I'm not. See,
let me also tell you. She's getting tougher now. We'll push friendship aside. These guys are making money.
Who?
The current FF. For the FF.
Let me tell you.
This is the FF that has declared the biggest
sum
ever.
How much?
I don't know. They didn't tell us, but I know that
Fantastic.
People have been pulling
so why are you assuming that
they have more sponsors than others?
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
I can tell you something. One of the things that piqued me was when a certain sponsor was good enough for them to have the photo opportunity, but they couldn't tell Nigerians how much they were investing in football. Listen, Larry, to the glory of God, and I say this with every sense of humility, I brought TomTom
into the Super Eagles.
Super Eagles. I brought Samsung into it.
Yes.
At every point in time, sitting with Pamosi and NFF, I will tell you this is the money we are putting on the table. And this is just title, just to give you, but not the activation. So my activation budget is different, but the money that is going into the coffers of the NFF, I will tell you 150 million naira, that is the money. Now, why wouldn't somebody say that? Why are they hiding it? So how do you know they have it? There are so many things at play. I mean, if you start hiding it, you are destroying the Super Eagles brand. Because they don't know that it's a brand, that the more, let me give you an example. Coca-Cola today, if you go look at 2017, brand equity in terms of brand value, how do you tell a brand is the value? Every brand has a value, and it's tied to your equity. So, for example, you are sitting there, an employer wants to employ you. They always ask you, my friend,
yes,
how much do you think you're worth? Many of us say, oh no, give me anything you want. That's stupidity. If you come to me today, Larry, and you want to hire me, I will give you 5.
I won't even come. Don't
no.
Thank Thanks for coming here today.
I will give you a value. And that is my work.
Yes.
So think about that in the balance of the Super Eagles being a brand. And somebody cannot declare the value is investing in the Super Eagles or football. So that tells you that there's something wrong. They don't know that the more they bring to the table, then people can see and I say, I like what I see. Let me tell you the spirit behind marketing. Every brand that is being consumed by whoever, that person consumes you because he says, that is the person for me. That is the brand. There's a connection. So if you take the Super Eagles and I'm investing 200 million, and I say 200 million, it's good. By the time you look at it holistically, plus subventions, plus blah, 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 the total worth of this brand is X billion naira. And you go to the table of brotherhood and say, this is how much we're going to invest in marketing this brand.
Let me get you clearly. You are saying for the Super Eagles, there should now be a document telling exactly the amount, the team is worth.
Yeah, you must. You may not.
Or the brand is worth.
Yeah, that you see that it's a brand. You see, if you want to go team, it's now you go individual, and that's when you begin to get endorsements, and this is how you begin to stretch the fabric of your brand. So you take an Okocha then. Yeah, a Kanwanko. There's
a
Mikel now. If you take a Mikel now and you want to take an Iwobi, you can do certain things with Iwobi deliberately that you not do with a Mikel. And that also opens opportunities for the players to get endorsements by local and international brands. Their own profile continues to rise.
What do you experts ask of the FF when you sponsor? What are those things you demand?
You know, for me, as a brand sponsor, and I don't know if I'm an expert, but I've been there. One of the things I demand is accountability, but I'm very clear on what I want to do. So they know this is where I'm headed, this is what I want to do, and this is how we're going to do it. So there's a collaborative dimension to it. Yes, government, yes, you're going to have all of that, but it must be pedantic. You must be very clean and clear. You must be crystal clear in terms of vision. The other thing that you need to bring to the table is a lot of thought leadership, because the guys that are running the FF do not see what you see. So it's about 30,000 feet and 10,000 feet. So you sitting there, there's a difference between the forest and the trees. These guys see trees every day. They are fighting wars, but you have to elevate yourself to the point where you are seeing the forest and say to them strategically, this is where I'm going. Now, there are certain brands that can do that, and there are some that cannot. And it takes the personality behind. That's why I said, if the man that is driving the car or the man that is the ship, the captain does not have a sense of what it should be, every other person is a follower. And the followers don't make decisions. Followers follow, but leaders lead.
Is there anything government is missing with this team?
No, I think, you know, what the first thing that government is missing is that they don't know that to put Nigeria on the world map, that our people are our greatest assets. So put together Super Eagles, a bunch of young lads, by the way, for the first time, when we've always been seen as being age, whatever, we're the youngest in this tournament. And our boys are all over the place, doing the best they can do, playing into the leagues. If the government does not know that this is a veritable tool to market this country and to begin to present it afresh and storm the airwaves, then it's unfortunate. This is not about information. It's about democratic centralism, bringing ideas and resources, and then decisions are coming down. Engaging the Nigerian populace with one passion point that they love, football. The other could be music, the other could be fashion, but this is one time that you know, come race, come tribe, come gender, it's one thing that unifies the country.
As a brand architect, should there be slogans now? Maybe on the part of government, telling Nigerians, you know, we used to have great people, something.
No, good people,
one nation.
I think, first of all, Larry, what I see is that the government has missed the opportunity of creating a deal.
No, we still have 3 months.
No. They can't. It's too late. So government can't.
So they should just go to bed.
Government can't do it because there isn't an overarching strategy. So if we had a DNA, so for example, what is the DNA? If a Nigerian is going to walk through that door, what is your type and shadow of a Nigerian? So what should be the DNA of a Nigerian? That will form the fabric of what you might take. Sloganeering is not a campaign. This would have gone under that if we had great people, great nation. Good is subjective. I don't believe in good because a lot of the nonsense that people do, stealing money and giving to people, that is a good man. No. But greatness is not subjective. When you see a great man like yourself, you'll be a product.
Thanks for the compliment.
No, but seriously, you'll be a product of a process, not an automatic. See, many executives, many big men today are patrons of contracts, and so they can't tell the young ones how they got to where they're not great men. So you must be clear what great is and what it is not. So great people, great nation. When you have that and your team is stepping out, then you have, this is a symbol of greatness. So everybody rallies around the Super Eagles and they know that this is a great team, a great set of boys that are holding the nation proud.
From all you have told us, it appears to me that the problem is also on the part of the sponsors. Why are they not the ones calling the shots saying...
They don't know. That was what
I mean, the sponsors.
You know what? Let me tell you. There's a difference between a money bag.
Brand experts like you.
No, there's a difference between a money bag and a man with money. When you're a money bag, you dash and you throw. But the man with money thinks. But if you don't activate their capacity to think, it's called thought leadership. You don't have it. That you can be a big brand, you're a big company, and then you have this war chest, and they say, NFF says, come and be sponsor. You just go and take photo, and they put you in press. That's all. And then they don't declare how much. That's all. They've just wasted it. But there is, in strategic management of sports, 30% of what, so I have $1 billion, and I use 300 million to support you. I must have 700 million to be able to activate, because activation is what brings it alive. That's what accentuates the value of whatever sport or message you are bringing into the table.
What are those things that sponsors should therefore start doing, since you say they don't know? Give us some examples.
Let me give you
your way of Cadbury.
Let me give you different.
Right.
Let me go back to 1998.
Okay.
The first thing, gracefully, 99 to Nigeria 99. I had the privilege of working with ISL and also the project managing Ghana Nigeria 2002, and we had Nigeria 99. We had a campaign as Coca-Cola, Believe campaign. We said we believed that the Super Eagles would win the World Cup. And so we started a Believe campaign, and to herald it was a World Cup trophy top. So the trophy came, and we walked from our office in with our former Ikeja,
yes, where I was always bringing proposals.
Larry, we had a walk from there to the National Stadium, and we had all the fans from all parts of life coming together, and we had what we call a pour and pass. What was the pour and pass? PAW and pass. We brought the World Cup, and you as a fan, you had the opportunity to hold it and to take a shot of it. This is what we believe our team will bring home for us. And we had the stadium packed. Everybody had a picture of himself with the World Cup. It's a memorabilia that nobody can ever give to you. It's not cheap stakes. You can't buy it. It can only be Coca-Cola. That is what makes the brand authentic. No other brand can except Coca-Cola. Now, fast forward. I found myself in Nairobi 2002. I did something different. Brought all, and by the way, Kenya wasn't even qualifying for the
World Cup. Yeah.
So what did I do? The 5 countries that qualified for it, I had a slogan, a campaign called Africa Tupo. It's Swahili. It means Africa is there. Then I had a human face, big billboards. Human face with all the colors and the flags of all the 5 countries that were at the World Cup. Kenya was not at the World Cup, but I had 5 African countries, and the whole of Kenya was our goal.
Brand association,
and I took Coca-Cola to them. Now, move on to Cadbury. Very recently, when I took on and worked with my team, they all looked at me, okay, what are you doing with Tom Super Eagles? And my good friend Mike Itemagba, I hope he's listening. I sent one of my guys to tell Mike, I'm interested in sponsoring the Eagles. Then Mike just teased and said, I won't say what he said. So he now realized I had moved from Coke to Cadbury, and we sat down. That was it. The next thing was to go support the Eagles. I tell you something. Remember that year, the Eagles had issues qualifying. but Tom Tom stood by the Eagles at Abuja Stadium. At every point in time, I had 1,000 fans, students, brought children from different schools in Abuja. We paid the transport, got the teachers, gave them food, logistics. So there's logistics as a sponsor. Brought them to the stadium, and opposite the grandstand, you'll always find Tom Tom loves the Eagles. For 2 years consecutively, Tom Tom won the awards of the best sponsor. Why? It's activation. I'll tell you what I paid. Our sponsorship fee was just 40% of what some big brands were paying. That's why I said sometimes it can be a money bag. But if you're a man with money, you will think. But if you're a money bag, you throw it away. So sponsors now, I think the challenge is that we don't have brand managers that understand the essence and the connection between a property and how you can use the property to engage and drive emotional connection. They just think it is surface. It's not surface. It's about emotional connection. So if the marketing director does not know, the marketing manager does not know, and the brand manager will never know. Because it's meant to, when you pour water on your head, it drips, comes to the body. It starts from the head. But if the head came through the process of not knowing, the head will just be headless.
Now, if the sponsors are not doing it, what about members of the team themselves? Why is there no daily message from Moses? I'm going to the World Cup, watch out. It's not really about Chelsea. Nothing from Mikel. Could it be the FF itself? It's not allowing them talk to us.
No, I don't know what
or the sponsors are not going there to tell the boys we also need this kind of thing.
You know, certain things can be done at a stage like this. They don't know who will make the final list. So let me start from the boys. The Bible tells us that let him that thinketh a stand take heed lest he fall. So, and you know, we also grew up with pride going before a fall. If I start tweeting I'm going to the World Cup, then I'm saying that I'm in the team when I'm not. So I believe that the boys are just holding it backstage. Now, what needs to activate that? It's like priming a pump, and you have a well, and you need to take water up. What needs to happen is the effort and the sponsor.